Yo, what's up? We're back, and this week it's for another Dana White Contender Series video, the week 2. We stayed hot on the Contender Series, man. We did well last week as well, so we're going to be hoping to parlay that into a win again this week. And we're just going to jump right into it, so just make sure to comment, like, subscribe, like always. Put down in the comments what you think about this week's Contender Series. You think it's a good week, who you're betting on, everything like that. But first fight of the night, Anthony Adams. He's returning to the Contender Series against another returning guy, Impa Kasanganay. And in this first fight, Impa, he looked really good. He cashed as a massive underdog against Kalen Hill. And in contrast, Anthony Adams went in there, had a really boring fight. It was low volume, not much happened, and he lost a split decision. So they both had different performances on the Dana White Contender Series. But since then, both guys really haven't been very active. Impa, after that performance, he went up to Dana White and he was saying he wanted 4 or 5 fights in 2019, wanted to stay super active. But unfortunately for him, he's had 3 fights scheduled, 3 fights fall through since then. Hasn't fought since then. It's been nearly a year. And Anthony Adams, he was on the Dana White Contender Series in 2018. And he's had trouble getting fights since then as well. He's fought just one time in the last 2 years. He had a knockout win January of 2019, and he hasn't fought since then. So it's been about a year and a half. So it also seems like whenever the UFC calls him to be on the show, it's out of his weight class. Adams has 9 pro fights. In all of his other fights, he competes at welterweight. In his 2 Dana White Contender Series fights, they were at middleweight. So it's a little bit weird. But looking at Adams' resume, he has fought some tough guys. He's tested himself. He's fought much better fighters than Impa has. Impa really hasn't fought very good competition. His last fight was the best opponent he ever faced, who was a 4-0 Kalen Hill. And Adams, he's fighting guys who are 9-1. He's fighting 20-fight veterans, so he does have a lot more experience in that aspect. Adams, he did earn the first finish of his career in his last fight. He's really a decisionator. He's a very athletic guy, though he shows it off at times. He'll throw some cartwheel kicks. He'll throw some flips out there. I've seen him do some wild shit in the octagon. He likes to mostly just hang back, throw soft kicks from the outside, kind of wait to counter. He does have some good movement, and when he goes forward, he'll cut angles, he'll switch stances. He throws some nice low kicks, front kicks up the middle. He'll throw some nice blitz combinations, some straights to hooks to the body, to leg kicks. He looked a lot more confident in his last fight going forward. He hurt his opponent. He was attacking with good knees. He was pressuring. And he ultimately smoked him with the hook, dropped him, finished him off with ground and pound. Even though that guy didn't have a good record, or he had a pretty good record, he just didn't look like a good fighter to me. So I wasn't that impressed with the win. But he does have a good clinch game. He has a strong plum clinch, good knees, good elbows. He'll throw really nicely timed spinning elbows off the breaks. His striking isn't bad, but it's not great. He's low volume, and he'll do some odd shit, though. He'll be, very nonchalant, and he'll look away and kind of try to bait guys in, then throw spinning attacks or big counters. He, is, a little bit crafty in there, but just doesn't throw a lot of volume, doesn't have a lot of power, gets backed up a lot. Adams seems to have a wrestling game of some sort, but it isn't the best. He will mix in some double legs. He has a pretty good takedown defense. On top, he's a lay and pray guy. He's not really looking to submit or get damage off. I haven't really seen him off of his back. Overall, I think Adams is okay. The guy is a veteran, but he just doesn't seem like he likes to fight much. He wants to stay on the outside, be pretty, move, throw kicks, let his opponents lead the dance. He does have some decent counters, but he's just super low volume. For Impa, I will say he looked really improved in his last fight. His grappling was a big weakness in the past for him, but in the fight with Kalen Hill, it looked pretty good. He did get taken down a couple times, but he got up pretty easily. And he's going to be the bigger, stronger fighter in this matchup. He's an ox, man. He's a great athlete. On the feet, he's kind of low volume himself. He likes to counter, but definitely has the better cage presence. He's going to be the guy going forward. He hits harder, I feel. He catches kicks well. He gets takedowns. But I feel like he needs to be careful not to allow himself to just get out-volumed by little kicks that Adams throws. Impa, he is the better athlete. I see his high guard, forward pressure, low kick, counter punching style kind of being enough for Adams. He won't leave openings for counters. I feel Adams will look to wrestle heavy, use that double leg, try to control Impa against the cage. But like I said, Impa showed improved get-ups, takedown defense, and had a couple takedowns of his own against Hill. He's a very strong fighter. He's hard to hold down. Nice front headlock, good body locks, good control on top. And he likes to wrist ride opponents. He takes their backs and just kind of wears on their gas tank from there. With this fight, I'm going to go with Impa. I just believe he's the bigger, superior athlete who will control the center. It may be a bit boring on the feet, but I think Impa will be the one winning by controlling the cage. When Adams starts to try to grapple, I could see Impa reversing, getting on top, winning that as well. I am a little bit worried about the experience advantage in terms of who Adams has fought versus who Impa has fought, and if Adams can just go in there, wrestle heavy, get him down, control, maybe that's his path to victory. But I'm actually going to go with Impa Kasanganay by decision. I think it'll be kind of a boring fight. I think Adams may get some takedowns, but Impa will be too strong, be able to stand back up. I think that on the feet, Impa will just be doing a little bit more, hitting a little bit harder going forward. So I think Impa will get the win here. And this next one here is a good one. We got TJ Laramie taking on Daniel Swain. TJ the Truth Laramie is 22 years old, but he's been fighting pro MMA for over 5 years now, and he won the PFC Featherweight Championship his last fight. He's also won the featherweight belt in the TKO promotion. He's beaten guys like Charles Jourdain, who are already in the UFC. He's 11-3. He's on a 3-fight win streak, and he's going to be fighting Daniel Swain, who he's been in the pro MMA game since 2010. Kind of has a salty record, 29-1, but as you can see, he has a lot of experience. He's gone overseas. He's competed against UFC veterans, and it's going to be, a good fight for him. I feel like he's going to be ready for the moment mentally, at least. This will be both these guys' first fights in 2020. Swain, pretty well-rounded guy. His striking isn't the best, but he hits hard. He has dangerous counters, good Muay Thai in the clinch. He's a good grappler himself, and he wants to get the back. Good job of getting takedowns in the clinch, taking the back from standing. On top or on bottom, he's very dangerous with submissions. He's very dangerous early in fights. He gets a hold of the neck. He'll take the back. He'll grab a triangle, arm lock off bottom. Very aggressive. I mean, he's always looking for the submission everywhere. A lot of different submissions. I watched a fight where he dropped Alex De Silva. He took his back a couple times. He, was really dominating De Silva, and De Silva's a solid fighter in the UFC. The issue with Swain is if he can't get the finish in the first round, he tends to gas very badly. He has 14 wins in the first round, and then after that, he's just 6-6. And he hasn't won a fight that has gone past the first round since 2015. He does tend to look for a way out when he gets tired. I mean, he's been knocked out 5 times. He's been submitted twice. He will probably bring it because at 29, this is going to be one of his last chances to get in the UFC. But it's going to be hard against a guy like TJ Laramie, who's training with Cody Stamen. You could see it in the way he fights. He has the same body type, uses a lot of feints, double jab hooks. He has progressive striking a lot, but I feel like Stamen, is a little bit better in terms of the kicks, the feints. Laramie is much more dependent on his wrestling still. He has, a really good top wrestling style. And, striking defensively is not great. He has been TKO'd twice in this fight. I do feel like he should be able to compete on the feet, if not be a little bit better, though. The grappling should be pretty close, but Laramie has good wrestling, great timing on doubles, heavy top pressure, good submission defense, good ground and pound, good control. And he'll finish fights in the clinch and on the ground. He isn't a big submission guy, but he has fought some good jiu-jitsu fighters. He's defended submissions well over 3 rounds, and he's finished 8 of his 11 wins. He's fought 5-round fights. He has good cardio. He can grind. And he's going to be a little dangerous in round 1. Laramie has to respect the ground game of Swain off his back, and if Swain can get on top. But as long as he doesn't get cracked and dropped, and Swain jumps on the back, or he gets a takedown and takes his back and submits him early on, I think that Swain will tire out, and Laramie will soften him up in the first round, get the top position in the second and the third, and end up finishing him with ground and pound. So I'm going to go with TJ Laramie in this one. In the third fight of the night, we have the first female fight. We got Vanessa Demopoulos taking on Cory McKenna. And it's a 115-pound woman fight. The first fight that really jumps off, or the first thing that really jumps off the page is the ages. McKenna 21, Demopoulos 31. I mean, that's a 10-year age difference. Both girls, don't really have great experience in MMA. I mean, Demopoulos does have 13 fights, including her amateur bouts, and McKenna has 12. But neither have really faced that high-level competition. As a pro, Demopoulos does have a loss, so does McKenna, but they've both tested themselves against decent girls. I mean, Demopoulos, she is coming off a 5-round title fight in LFA. I mean, it's not high-level competition, but it's not terrible. I mean, the girl she submitted in the 4th round was 4-0. McKenna, she's 4-1. She's only fought in Cage Warrior, so this is going to be her first fight in the United States, but she has trained at Team Alpha Male, things like that. So I don't think that's going to be a huge issue for her. She does have some wins over decent competition. She has a split decision loss over Nicole DeSegni. She definitely has a lot more room to grow and time to grow than Demopoulos. But Demopoulos, I mean, she's a jiu-jitsu girl, a pretty legit one. She's actually placed second in the brown belt no-gi Pan Am Games in 2019. She's, pretty crazy on the feet. I mean, she's not good, but she's super tough, durable. She'll throw straight punches, try to get in wars, but she's just stiff, just not that good. Good leg kicks. Her striking kind of reminds me of a worse version of Hannah Goldie. And in her last fight, she was eating bombs. She definitely got rocked a couple times. And, she was able to hang in there and then kind of pulled off a Hail Mary submission in the 4th round. But she's a legit grappler, just doesn't have the wrestling. She'll pull guard, roll for leg lock. She likes to shoot double legs to pull guard, and she's super flexible off her back. She can catch submissions, get sweeps, and she had a really nice reverse triangle, choked her opponent out her last fight. Pretty good arm bar. She's good at using leg entanglements to create scrambles. The issue is she kind of struggles to get it to the ground, and her athleticism, her cardio, her toughness, and jiu-jitsu are there, but she needs to add the striking and the wrestling still. For Cory McKenna, she's a grappler as well. Her striking is maybe a little bit more technical, but she's not as athletic. She doesn't hit as hard as Demopoulos. And, she'll throw some jabs, some double jabs, straights, and, she just isn't that good, though. Isn't that athletic. She likes to time doubles, take mount, take the back, finish fights. Good top pressure, good wrestling ability. In this fight, it's going to be interesting how they stack up on the ground. Is she going to be able to control Demopoulos, or is Demopoulos going to sweep, get top position? It's possible McKenna will really improve, look stronger here. She has taken quite a long time off. Both these girls are low level, but I think Demo is the better athlete. She has the more dangerous skill set on the ground, so I'm going to go with her via submission here, but not a high confidence pick. In the co-main event here, we have Adrian Yanez taking on Brady Huang. And, it's a 135-pound matchup. Brady, he's 11-1, and he's fought some very questionable competition. Out of his first 10 wins, his opponents have a combined record of 26-51. In his last fight, he did go to Japan. He beat a 5-7 guy, which that's the best win of his career for sure. He does have a knockout loss to Martin Day, but he's won 3 in a row. He should be confident. And he's a Muay Thai striker. He's long, good power, heavy low kicks, hard straight punches, nice 1-2, good distance control. He doesn't use a lot of movement. He's flat-footed and kind of hittable to the body, to the head. His grappling isn't bad, but he has bad single-leg takedown defense. He does have decent sweeps. He'll use the butterfly guard to hit that elevator sweep. He has, some submissions. He'll mostly use submissions to create scrambles to stand up. And he's going to be taking on Adrian Yanez, who's 10-3, but Yanez has definitely faced a lot higher caliber of competition. He's defeated multiple fighters with winning records. He has 2 split decision losses to UFC fighters. Yanez, he is riding a 3-fight win streak. He's 5-1 in his last 6, and he's a legit boxer. He likes to pressure, pick, pull, force fighters backwards, work off the jab, the double jab. He jabs his way in pretty well. Good straight, good uppercut. He's good at putting combinations together, slipping and ripping, attacking the body. And he does play with his hands down. He definitely has a lot of trust in his eyes, his head movement to slip and return with hard shots. He will throw some front kicks to the body, some high kicks, but really is primarily a boxer. His style does leave a lot of openings for him to be hit. I am kind of a bit worried about the kicking game of Huang if he can land a head kick in there. But Huang doesn't throw a lot of high kicks. He throws a lot of low kicks mostly. So he's going to have to be ready to check and be ready to, get out of the way of the leg kicks. Yanez is very tough, though. Great chin, great cardio. He'll eat shots, keep walking you down, stay right in your face. He does have 5 knockouts. Definitely has pop in his hands, but I wouldn't say he's a one-punch guy, but he can put you out with volume. Very tough. He's never been finished by strikes. I haven't really seen much of his grappling, offensive or defensively, in recent fights. Against Brady, I don't really think that'll matter here. I don't think it's going to be much of a wrestling attack from either guy. Decisions haven't been kind, really, to Yanez throughout his career. He's 3-3 in decisions, 2 split decision losses. But I feel like he clearly won his last fight. That was a split decision. I don't know why that one was a split decision. At 26 years old, I think he's the guy who is probably improving a little more, even though they're both younger. And I think he could be a fixture in the UFC if he gets a little bit better. We got 2 technical guys here. I mean, Huang, he likes to stick to the basics more. Yanez, more technical brawler. But I expect Yanez to be, the fighter controlling the center. I think Huang's going to try to stay long, counter with the straights, with the low kicks. Yanez is going to be looking to get his head off center line, counter, attack the body, jab his way into range for combos, wear on Brady. And I think that the low calf kick will have to do damage to Yanez for Brady to win, in my opinion. I think if not, Yanez is just going to be the guy that wants him more, that drowns him with the volume, with the pressure, and takes him out in those later rounds. So I'm going to pick Yanez by TKO in late round 2 in this one. And finally, we have the main event here between Joseph Pyfer and Dustin Stoltzfus. And it is the main event as well, like I just said. And Stoltzfus, he's going to be 12-1 here. He's riding a 9-fight win streak. His opponent, Joseph Pfeifer, he's 7-1. And it's weird. It says that both these guys are from Pennsylvania, but Stoltzfus has had all his fights in Germany, so I'm not really sure, but he's been a pro since 2014. He's had almost double the fights of Pyfer, so he has a big experience edge here. And he's also fought higher level opponents. He's a striker, and he's a good grappler as well, kind of a jack of all trades guy. He might be a little bit stiff, but he throws heavy and he's dangerous. He's pretty technical as well. Nice kicks. He'll attack all parts of the body with kicks. He has really nice hooks inside. Good counter punching. Stalks forward. Good straight punches. Kicks at range. Waits for you to close the distance. Counters with those hooks. Good grappling as well. He's a strong guy. Good elbows. Good takedowns. I saw him hit a pretty quick back take in his last fight. And eventually he got a twister. He has a pretty good squeeze on the guillotine. He has 1 knockout, 5 submissions. He is 4-1 in fights that have gone to decision, has never been finished. And he's going to be taking on Joe Pyfer, who's a college wrestler, big knockout power. On the feet, Pyfer, he's a little bit wild and open, but good athlete, looks long. He likes to kind of walk guys down, throw some straights out there, but really just likes to get in on that double, get on top. His defense on the feet is, a little bit questionable. He pulls back with his chin high. He gives up the center of the cage, will just back up to the fence. He, is very good, though. He can get on top of guys. He's dangerous with ground and pound. When he can posture up, he can turn guys' lights out. His jiu-jitsu, his grappling overall really doesn't look great, though. I've seen him get put in deep guillotines. He has been submitted with the guillotine before. I've seen him kind of get stalled out on the mat. He does take the back pretty well, and he's a dangerous guy. I will be worried if we can get a takedown early in the fight, but overall, I think it's too early, too soon for him. He's green. I think that Dustin is a good fighter everywhere. He's more proven. I see him landing a shot and actually getting a KO, TKO, or dropping him and getting a submission. So I kind of just see the forward pressure of Stoltzfus drowning Pyfer. So I'm going to go with Dustin Stoltzfus here via finish. And there's still no line on this card or on these fights, but like always, I'm going to do this parlay of the week, which is going to be Dustin Stoltzfus and Adrian Yanez for now. I think that TJ Laramie also will most likely get the win, as well as Impa Kasanganay, but those are the 2 guys that I'm more confident in. So that's going to be the parlay of the week: Dustin Stoltzfus, Adrian Yanez. when the lines come out, make sure to check Odds HQ. I will do another similar video. I'll put it in the comments here where I break down the whole card, give a full betting analysis, tell you who I'm betting on, what's a good thing to bet on as well. So check that out. Thanks for watching, guys, and like I said, make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and thanks for always supporting the channel.